sobbing on the floor, your dinner guests thrown out of your house. Your partner consoles you. "It was supposed to be a good time," you cry. "It was supposed to be fun." "I don't understand," you say. "I had a vision. Then that goddamn cake show ruined it. It was supposed to be an impressive social gathering." We've seen that why we suffer is due to our ignorance that what we're experiencing is not what we think it is, and our attachment to wanting something to be different in our experience. And we've seen that at least part of why that is because of our biology, which is tuned by survival, and that the same biological architecture necessary to become aware of awareness is the same architecture that generates suffering. But to really grasp why suffering is the default, we'll have to look more closely at how the mind constructs experience through concepts. We form our experience and interact with the world to a significant extent through our ideas about it. Ideas here are more than simply conscious thought or an inner voice, but an entire spectrum of experiences. Any element of cognition which has some kind of representational element, whether one is consciously aware of it or not, all deeply rooted in our embodied experiences. Humans don't simply interact with the world through perceptions. As we develop, we do so by abstracting our experiences into greater and greater conceptual frameworks and maps. We name basic experiences, say, Daddy reads to me, Mommy helps me brush my teeth and put my PJs on, and I go to sleep. Then as we develop, we can grasp the concept of bedtime, under which all of these activities take place. Understanding bedtime, learning about dinner time, about houses and homes, various other activities we do together, we can then grasp the more complex idea, family life. Concepts are super powerful. We would be unrecognizable without them, and they let us do extraordinary things other creatures can't. Much of this power comes from being able to experience things which are not actually happening to us in our present physical experience. We can talk about tomorrow, for example, and perfectly understand each other. By the time we're adults, however, we experience life primarily in a complex kind of virtual reality composed of concepts, having become more and more cognitively sophisticated by building more and more abstract concepts on top of other abstract concepts, ignorant all the while that our concepts are activities we're doing, not mere objects out there in the world. You can't point at family life in the way you can point at a tree, and even when pointing at a tree as an adult, you're still pointing to something in your virtual world. Concepts dominate how we navigate the world as adults, to the extent that even if you do recognize this and start deconstructing the process to find some base level of experiencing, you'd still only find more concepts underneath. This is not to say that we're utterly divorced from reality, just that our experience of reality is generated through these virtual conceptual abstractions. Already, this is a form of ignorance. We think we are simply experiencing the world when we are really experiencing our generation of a virtual world. But this really illuminates something about attachment. Our concepts give us the capacity to abstract experience, but it's not just that we don't realize we're doing that. We have the capacity to take what is not present and have an experience about that. Think of a frog. Most people who study such things would agree that a frog feels pain and even has a subjective experience. It's like something to be a frog. But a frog only feels pain which is physically present to it. A frog will try to get away from pain and find pleasure, but when the pain isn't happening or imminent, the frog doesn't care. Humans suffer not only because it's unpleasant to take a biology exam. We suffer because, I have that biology exam tomorrow and I haven't studied for it. We suffer because of things that will happen tomorrow, or next year, or even just things that might happen but probably never will. We suffer because of things that never were real in the first place, except in our imaginations. The flip side of this is that when we feel pain, we're painfully aware that something else is possible. The catch-22 is that if you take away the capacity to generate concepts, eliminating this particular flavor of suffering, you take away the capacity to become aware of awareness in the first place. For a frog, life is direct and immediate, because there is nothing else other than what is direct and immediate. There's no question of awareness or a screen because whatever degree of awareness a frog has simply is the experience they're having. A frog will never suffer in the way that we do, but a frog will also never realize it's not merely a frog, but a wave in an infinite awake ocean, simultaneously embodied and boundless. Other species are aware. A baby is aware, but they can't recognize awareness. This is something that the more sophisticated cognition that develops with concepts is necessary for. Remember, awareness is not an experience, and so without the mind's ability to have us experience what is not present, we could not orient towards it nor recognize it. This is why some people think all that's necessary to wake up is to remove one's concepts, but this is a quarter truth. Perceptual experience is still a construction, and while a baby isn't mired in the virtual reality we get stuck in as adults and will never have to worry about what might happen next year, neither is she awake. Aware, very much so. Awake, only potentially. Waking up is not merely a remembering, nor a relinquishing. This is part 7 of the 12-part first chapter in the series You Are Looking at a Screen. For more, check out the notes for this video and please like and subscribe for the full series. If you have any questions, if you've found this helpful or have criticisms, leave a comment. For workshops, free meditations, individual instruction, and more, head to andrewlewisvenezia.life. Be well, be good, and be free.